Hi Kiwi! Alright, we're doing something different today. So, I'm going to start trying something different with the video format. Namely, I'm going to try and, on the weekends, upload something different from the main playthroughs I'm running through, because I wanna be able to expand what I'm playing beyond 1 or 2 games at a time. And so I figure if I have 2 days a week to just try something new, try something fun, that'll give me an opportunity to expand my horizons, perhaps. It also gives me an excuse to take a break from grinding out Celeste, or In the Blind Forest, or Hollow Knight, or any game that's... I seem to be gravitating towards games of notable difficulty, especially towards their endgame. So, with all that said, today we're going to be playing Lotus Lantern Rescue Mother. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start, and I'll talk more after that. Folks claim I, Sung Wukong, came out of a rock and lack human emotions. Especially after becoming a Buddha, it's believed I have a pure heart and no emotions. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Without emotions, why would I take on a disciple? Chen Sheng is the one who resembles me the most. Bear with me, I'm not going to be able to pronounce Chinese names correctly until I practice. Smart, courageous, and determined, heh, just like me. He dedicated 4 years of study under me just to save his mother. So as you can see, the game's localization is just the text. The audio still seems to be in Chinese. Okay, we've got ourselves a skill tree. I'll look at this later. Anything else I can interact with? So, as a brief synopsis, I saw this game briefly on like a little ad, and it looked reminiscent of Hades, and I was immediately attracted to it because if I wanted to try, I definitely want to play Hades, but I figured I'd start with this one since it's entirely new, and the art style looks beautiful. Lady Hay, Chen Sheng, where are you going? Oh, Godmother, I want to go down the mountain for a stroll. Practicing every day is tough, isn't it? Off you go, but no wandering around. I understand. Aren't you taking your senior sister with you? She has been thinking about you for a long time. Godmother? Just kidding. Where is the lantern now? Lantern? It's right in my room. That puts my mind at ease. Go ahead. What did you say, Godmother? Take care of your journey. Go ahead. Alchemy furnace. What does this do? Alright. Looks like other things. I don't have any resources, so it's another thing that'll probably be relevant later. Anyway, so this game, based on what I... Oh, never mind. Master seems to not be in the residence. Go and ask the senior brothers and sisters. Okay. So I've heard this game does have a little bit of an English localization translation error here or there, but I'm going to be willing to forgive it. Okay, we have a dash on A, and presumably we'll have attacks later. I just don't have any just yet. Anyway, so this game seems to look like it's inspired heavily by Hades, but using a Chinese folklore myth instead. Senior sister, Shen Sheng, does this hairpin look good on me? Senior sister, have you seen Master? Does it look good? Looks good. Master is at Great Zenyao Immortal's place for a drink, not here today. Alright, yeah. So again, I have almost no experience. Okay, I have no idea what you said there, bud. It doesn't look like I can interact with that yet. Enigmatic Splendor. I don't know. Oh, leaderboards. Okay, cool. I guess this is where I get to choose what weapon I use, and I have 2 options to start, maybe? Enigmatic Splendor. Attacks generate 2 flying swords that track and attack enemies with a maximum of 32 flying swords concurrently. Oh geez, that's a lot of swords that we can get up to. After flying swords hit an enemy, they apply 1 stack of debuff, reducing their movement speed up 5 stacks. Enter the sword summoning state, continuously generating flying swords around the character, and then we unlock stronger versions as we progress, I presume. The character is surrounded by several spirit orbs, which upon touching enemies cause damage and special attacks. Spirit orbs can be strengthened and increase their skill damage against enemies after hitting them. Periodically disperses spiritual spheres around the character and rapidly rotates to attack enemies. Launch all nearby spirit orbs forward to attack enemies. So basically, I think I favor this one. So I think I have it equipped now? Okay. So yeah, I see. Okay. So it's a slash attack. Whoa, okay. I don't know what I did there, but I sure did do it. Okay, so dash, attack. Got it. And then Y. Okay, Y is my special. It shoots a whole lot of swords and then it finishes with a big sword? No, how did I get the big sword? Maybe it's a passive? Not sure. Okay, it's a passive, it seems, that's linked to my just dealing damage. Alright, what about this other one? Okay, so I'm playing as Aurelion Sol from League of Legends, got it. And then I have a projectile-based attack. I can... Okay, it seems to auto-lock on. And what about my special? Okay. That's cool and all, but Oh, now I spin faster, okay. I don't think I'm going to enjoy playing with that, so let's go with the sword. Okay, cool. And with all that said, let me just see if now that I have a weapon, if this is any different. It is not. Alright, so let's go ahead and interact with this. I'm assuming this is where the level starts. Mount Hua entrance, okay. So yeah, as you can see, this gameplay is very reminiscent of Hades. And I saw some gameplay footage and was immediately attracted to it. Technique manual, let's see. Golden Fiery Trail. When normal attack hits, there's a chance to generate flame swords for the attacks. The flight path of the flame swords will also leave flames on the ground, damaging enemies who touch them. Increase the limit of currently existing flying swords by 8. Normal attacks will include sword energy, a range penetrating attack that generates flying swords upon hitting enemies. I think this one sounds the best. Let's go with that. Okay. Now, I don't know how things interact, what I can interact with on these maps just yet, so there's going to be a bit of a learning process for this first episode. Oh, I get to choose which path I take next. Let's see. Choose a room. Hua's Blessing. In the room, you can obtain Nua's Elemental Blessing, and then I can get Wind or Fire. I'm an Ice kind of guy, and generally Ice has slowing or stunning effects, so I imagine that will be to my benefit. Oh, I see. I can only... Oh, I don't even know what hit me there. Alright, I will say the visual clarity on this might be a little bit worse off than Hades, but it also is, I'm entirely new to this game, so it could be very much that. But anyway, Lotus Lantern, to my understanding, is a myth-made movie from of Chinese origin. I don't know too much about it, and as you can tell based on my pronunciation, I am not very versed in the Chinese culture, language, pronunciation, pretty much anything. The extent of my knowledge is really what I've learned from friends and what I've learned from eating their food. And if you go by American Chinese food, to my understanding, that's not even remotely close to what it actually is like. But I'm talking more from the friends who are Chinese in origin who have cooked for me more than anything else. Let's see. On normal attack, 30% chance to generate 1 stack of freeze, which slows enemies and then triggers a freeze after 5 stacks. When the character's energy is full, trigger 1 instance of freeze on all enemies and double the damage of the next artifact skill. When the character's energy is depleted, immediately summon 2 Ice Spirit and immediately restore 1 energy. Since I don't know what these resources are, I don't really know necessarily how to use them well, but I'm going to go with this one, I think. I assume my energy... Oh, I have something on my X button now. Who are you? Hello. That looks like an immortal. Level Dongbin. Lu Dongbin. Boy, I wonder if that's supposed to be a U. We'll just call him Lu. Lu Dongbin. Boy, are you Shen Zhang? Bearing the Pure Yang sword. Are you... Yeah, that's supposed to be a U. Are you immortal Lu Dongbing? I'm Shen Chang. Lady He said that you were wandering Penglai, and I didn't expect to meet you here today. I predicted that you would go up the mountain to rescue your mother today, so I've been waiting for you. Please enlighten me, immortal. On Kunlun Mountain, there's a Junhua axe with the power to split mountains and break stones. You need that to save your mother. May I ask how I can obtain such a divine axe? 20 miles away, there's a Black Cloud cave. A pair of monster spouses guard a fisheye stone. Once you obtain the stone first, then I'll explain it in detail to you. Thank you, Immortal Lu. I'm setting out now. Okay. I should see what this thing on the left trigger does in the next room, so let's see. Where are we headed to next? Obtain Nua's Elemental Blessing, challengeable. Clear the stage without taking damage to gain 30 Divine Sensibility. Don't know what that is, but I assume it's a resource. Or can obtain a certain amount of Spirit Elements in the next room, which definitely looks like currency. I'm going to go with the Blessing. We'll take on this challenge and see if I can get away without damage. I do have a fair bit of projectiles at my disposal. Oop, did I get hit right there? I might have. I was trying to figure out what controls I wanted to use. You can definitely cheese this with this projectile attack pretty aggressively. Since it doesn't seem like there's an upper limit to distance traveled. Well, at least the attacks are pretty well telegraphed so far. I really like this Spirit Sword attack, though. It looks really fun. I still don't quite know what triggers all the Giant Sword to happen, but... Alright, did I clear the challenge? Let's see. Windblade Dance. On normal attack, 30% chance to generate one Windblade. Windblades, a tracking attack on enemies, chance of increasing own movement speed upon hit. Accumulate energy every one grid. The character has 50% chance to apply Gale to themselves. Significantly increases their attack speed for a certain duration. During a dash, 60% chance to generate one instance of Windblade. I don't know, movement speed after dashing does sound really good. This one sounds more fun, but I think I'm gonna go with the movement speed on dash. That sounds pretty solid. Okay, so those are what Windblades look like. Alright, next room. Engraving. An engraving can be obtained in the room. Destiny Plate Bead. In this room, you can obtain beads to upgrade the Destiny Plate. In this room, you can obtain a certain amount of Divine Sensibility. I have no idea what these are. I'm going to go with engraving because that sounds interesting to me. Hello, sir, again. What was it? Lu Dongbing? Can I talk to you? No? Okay, wait. Alright, select engraving. Celestial. Upon entering a room, artifact damage increases by 15%. The effect disappears after taking damage. There is a 5% chance of enemies dropping 5 HP recovery orbs upon defeat. Upon entering a room, fire element elemental damage increases by 8%. I mean, I think this is the obvious, definite one I want. Okay. So now I have a chance of healing every room, which in these sorts of games always seems like a very valuable resource. I guess since maybe I can only have like one special interaction per room. Oh, I can get another engraving maybe. Let's see. Technique manual. A technique evolution reward can be obtained in this room. Go to this stage without taking damage to receive 30 divine sensibility. In this room you can obtain beads to upgrade the Destiny Plate. So I could get another passive, or I could get probably an upgrade to one of my skills. These engraving passives seem really strong, so I'll go with that. Hi again. Let's see. Divine Mechanism. Increased by 3 refresh points. Can be used to refresh martial arts manuals, elemental blessings, and so on. Not sold on that one. Upon entering a room, martial arts damage increases by 12%. The effect disappears after taking damage. Divine Mechanism. Okay, so maybe double dipping is a mistake. I don't know if martial arts damage will extend to the sword, but we'll take that, I guess. My guess is that it doesn't, and it's more like if I had a fist-based attack, maybe? You can buy blessing artifacts, recovers items, and more in the room. You can obtain a certain amount of spirit elements, or let's go with divine sense. Or spirit elements seem to be a resource that I'll need, so let's go with that. Okay. That giant. Oh, I didn't see that attack. Oops. I really like all these projectile swords. This is fun. I still don't know what this X button attack does, though, on the left trigger. Okay, I can use it. Let's see. So, left trigger, and then X. Oh, look at them. They're little elemental things. Oh, I guess that was what that ability I got earlier was, maybe? And I don't think they have HP, so... I guess it seems like I can only use one special type attack at a time. Alright, I think I'm able to read these attack patterns well enough. Just focus on dodging to get out of bad situations where possible, and like in Hades, focus on killing the projectile swords first, because they're a problem. I haven't seen what an HP orb looks like yet, or at least I haven't mentally registered what an HP orb looks like yet. Okay, there we go. Room cleared. Any HP orbs? No, it doesn't seem it. Okay, there's my reward. Anyway, so one thing I'll mention is at the very start of this game, there is about a 2-minute long cutscene where they do a whole lot of exposition dumping and a lot of name dropping. And I know by Kiwi's experience, having that much information front-loaded never goes well. So what I'm going to do is I cut it out and I'm going to put it at the end of this video and I'll dub over it once I learn how to try and pronounce those names correctly, because my goodness, there were a lot of names that I could not pronounce even remotely correctly. Oh, you're cool. So, Evil Hair Hachi. Hachi. I see you have the bunny ears. Okay, let's just focus on dodging your attacks. Since you're the first mid-boss, I don't think you have much to show, but yeah. I will definitely be playing Hades on this channel eventually. It is one of my favorite games, and with Hades 2 on the horizon, just having had its technical test, if that doesn't date this at the time of recording, I don't know what else will, but Hades 2 is on the horizon, and I am so unbelievably excited. It's probably the game I'm currently most looking forward to, because Supergiant Games consistently makes good games. I have no doubt that Hades 2 will live up to every expectation I have, and even if it is just the same, more Hades, it's more Hades. I could literally have no complaints. I have no complaints about that. As it is, I want to play more Hades to begin with, so. But let's see how these little friends work on this one. Whoop. Ah, man, he's fast and he does a lot of damage. Whoop. I just don't seem to be able to react to him quickly enough. I'll have to make sure I can dodge. This attack is easy enough to deal with. It's when he teleports and then is right next to me and does his charge that I have a problem. But this does a whole lot of damage. Actually, it's a pretty weak attack, but it just does so many hits that it makes up for it. I guess it's mostly if I'm attacking him and he does his dash. Oh, there it is. I couldn't see him. He was too far off screen. Alright, I guess as long as I know he's going to do multiple attacks in a row, there's not much difficulty to it. It does seem like that giant sword has a chance of spawning anytime I deal damage, but this should finish him off in theory? Or her? I don't actually know male or female on this one. Okay, well that's our first mid-boss. We could have done better, but I'd say that was pretty solid. Let's see. Press, decompose, increase. I don't know what these do. Do I get each of them, or do I have to choose one? Let's see. Oh. I feel like I can survive as long as I dodge. But my HP got kind of low, so I'm going to take the HP, I think, here. And then you... Ooh. Profound Frost Orb. Generates several Frost Orbs upon activation, dealing freezing damage and slowing enemies upon contact. For a period of time after releasing a technique skill, your normal attacks will be enhanced. And then I get more passives when it's uploaded, it seems. Tai Chi Talisman. After activation, send out shockwave attacks to knock back enemies around. Increase damage reduction and multiply the damage dealt by enemies several times and return it to them. So I guess it's take damage and reflect it back. That one sounds too risky. I think I'll go with this one. Okay, so I guess these are artifacts on the left trigger. They don't seem to share a cooldown, but they don't seem to be usable all the time, and after I use my Y attack, for example. Room provides a certain amount of HP regen. I'm definitely going to that, unless... Yeah, let's take the HP. After a boss fight, I think that's the most sensible decision here. Alright. Cool, I'm back. I'm topped off now, and I have a slightly higher base HP, which will let me survive better. Artifact can be obtained in the room. Can obtain... I'm going to go for the artifact. I think the artifacts look interesting. The engravings are certainly interesting, too. But I haven't been to a room like this before, so let's see what it looks like. Oh, there are enemies in here. Okay. If there are choke points like this, man, my current kit really destroys them. But see, I can't use my artifacts right now, and I don't know if that's because I lack energy, which seems to be the yellow meter on the bottom, below my HP, or if yeah, it must be that, I lack energy. And I seem to get energy from dealing attacks in typical fashion. Let's see if I can kill you before you get another attack off. I got caught on that little statue there. Good, now I have energy to use artifacts. And it doesn't look like my Y attack consumes energy, so basically I just have to be mindful about how much of one thing I use at a time. Oops, got a hit there. Got hit again. These projectiles are... I guess I need to be mindful of the projectile users, like I said before. Well, I learned very quickly in Hades that killing the projectile users makes the rest of the room much more doable. Projectiles... It's really just getting a sense of what is the biggest threat in the room at a given time. I'm lucky that shockwave didn't hit me, though. Alright, what do we get? Now, do I... Oh, it replaces... Okay, I see. So I can have one section for heaven and one section for God, and if I take this, it'll replace heaven. Okay, so what's the god first? Let's see. After activation, apply a protective shield to the character that can block 1 instance of damage. If the character's own HP drops below 25%, reduce the cooldown of technique skills. That sounds really good, for me at least. And since I have to try and at least pronounce things, I'm going to try and pronounce this as Jinghuang Banner. Divine Wood Sword. Let's see. When activated, the wooden sword will automatically fly out to perform multiple strikes against enemies. Reduce the cooldown of technique skills. Honestly, I'm going to take the defensive barrier, but if I didn't already have one, I probably would have replaced the one that I previously had. Alright, let's see. Destiny Plate Bead, or let's go with the technique. Although I guess I should find out what the Destiny Plate is. I assume that's the place where I chose my weapon from. Okay, these guys have yellow health, so they're... Oh, they leave behind a shockwave also. Gotta be careful. So I'm gonna assume, yeah, yellow health is the shield, or the second health bar, like what was in Hades. Oh, I am taking... Oh, apparently they can crit on me just as much as I can crit on them. Unless that was my own crit, I'm not sure yet. Okay, so it looks like right now the things I have the most difficulty with are dodging charge-based attacks if I don't see them coming, and dodging projectiles under a similar situation. The biggest issue is when I'm point-blank meleeing someone. It seems I'm very prone to taking damage. But I think over time I will get a sense of this. Kill this projectile artist since I killed that guy I was just fighting. Oh good, more units are spawning. Since these guys stacked on top of each other, I'll try and grab a bunch of that. Here, let's go ahead and use this protection shield. Now, does it stay up for a while? It does. I guess the question is, how long does it stay up for? And it does look like I can use it again. So this will be really useful if I have enough energy to spam it. It does seem like it consumes a fair bit of energy, but I like this. I like this shield a lot. Anything that keeps me alive in a roguelike is always a good thing. Alright, I took another hit. But it's fine. I'm generating so much energy in this room because there are just so many enemies to generate off of. I keep mistaking the little streams of wind that are like the ambiance of this room as a linear projectile aimed at me. Alright. I'm getting rid of this projectile, dude. You're a problem to me. Okay, there's that room taken care of. Cool. Technique manual. Let's see. What have we got? Celestial Annihilation. In the same room, for every enemy killed, the power of flying swords increases. The effect disappears after the battle ends. Sounds good for trash mobs, but not great for boss fights. Thousand Blade active skill changed to periodically auto-release. Releases 20 flying swords every 8 seconds. So that's more swords, I believe, and a 2-second cooldown reduction. Or Blood Cleanse. After the character takes damage, flying swords... No, I don't like anything that stipulates I need to take damage is generally not an ability I favor in these kind of games, because the whole point is I want to avoid taking damage as much as possible. The only instance where I think it's valuable is if I'm on a kind of tank sort of build. In this room, you get a chance to draw. Oh, I don't get to draw very often. Let's do that. I'm going to assume it's like draw... Yeah, it looks like lottery. Who are you? You're new. Princess Iron Fan. Kid, stop right there. Have you seen a celestial child around here? I haven't seen it, Princess Iron Fan. Right. If he doesn't want anyone to see it, no one can see that. Do you recognize me? Even if I'm foolish, I recognize this iron fan in your hands. Shen Shang, so you're the disciple of that monk with the thunderous face and loud mouth. You finally came. Why wait for me? I've got a personal favor to ask of you. The fairy has a close relationship with my master. The entrusted task within my abilities will be done with the utmost effort. There's some... Well, that didn't sound terribly natural. Smooth talker. Probably picked that up from your master. Well, I won't mock him here. Alas, that's the case. Oh gosh. Guanyin Bodhisattva sent Sudhana, my son Red Boy, to find you. You will likely see him soon. If you do, could you pass a message for me? Why did Guanyin Bodhisattva seek me out? Is she trying to stop me from saving my mother? I haven't heard of this matter, but if it's a simple task, please tell me. Just say Mom misses him. Shen Shang, make sure to bring it. To express gratitude, I will also lend you my modest assistance. Okay. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. This is a weird, After watching oh, technique damage plus 10%, that's pretty solid. After watching Doug's playthrough of Neopets recently, because we decided to do that for some reason, I just had flashbacks to that, not gonna lie. Okay, I could get a new blessing, which will be a new passive, presumably, or I can upgrade this. I want to get the passive, because we're about to face the final boss. I'd like to be as prepared for that as possible. This is a cool looking room. Oh. Right, okay, so Y activates automatically, so I don't have to worry about using it anymore, so I can just focus on dodging and attacking. That's a really cool ability. I got trapped in the corner against the statue, so oh, I cannot go up there, okay. So I misunderstood where I could walk, but oh, I see. My brain didn't see depth there, it saw a yellow carpet, and that's why I kept trying to dodge into it. Okay, fair enough, I understand now. I could really use my shield. So it looks like the attack passive, the giant sword passive, is happening whether I want it to or not. Like, oh well, I knew that. I mean, whether I'm attacking or not is what I mean. It seems to just automatically trigger. Ugh, I've taken so much damage in this room. This is not ideal. I'm going into this final boss fight with a... Actually, I don't even know if this is the final boss. If this follows Hades' logic, then it's not the final boss. It's the entrance to the next step. Supposedly, I believe what I'm doing is I'm climbing Mount Hua, which I don't know the cultural significance of this, but for now I'll just equate it to Mount Olympus for lack of better knowledge. It certainly has a similar vibe to it, even if that's not the case, given the build-up on it being a big thing. I mean, all mountains are big, but you know what I mean, Kiwi. But, I'm like one or two hit. Assuming that final boss can do as much damage as the mid-boss did, I am a good one hit away from death against that boss. So hopefully I can find a room with some HP, or they offer me some HP before the final room. Just have to make sure that I pay attention to the landmines they've been setting, and focus on dodging their projectiles. They do seem to get staggered, but I can't tell if that prevents them from attacking outright, or if... Oh my goodness, this room is so big. Alright, I can activate my shield, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for safety reasons. Alright, it does seem like there is a limit to how far these projectiles can track if I'm too far away from the enemy. But I think I've almost got this. I should be... This is hopefully the last wave of enemies. I sincerely hope. Okay, there we go. Cool. Cool. Alright. Let's see. Spawn 1 gust every 7 seconds. Deals AoE damage to enemies in a straight line in front of character and applies a mark to increase player's crit rate. Windblade damage plus 10%. After the Windblade hits the target, there's a 10% chance to trigger a storm, which leaves lingering damage on the ground for AoE. And Windblade Surge. Increase 1 stacks of Godly Run applied by Windblade. Each costs 4 energy cells. Generates 7 instances of a Windblade attack. I think I'm just going to go for the flat damage. None of those seem terribly worth it. Okay, we've got a new NPC. Let's see what you are. Hello, sir. Oh. Tai-Bai Jinjing. Young man, the path ahead is treacherous. You shouldn't go there. Esteemed elder, I know Mount Hua is dangerous, but I have something important to do there. Don't worry about me. It's interesting how their translation has a bit of an issue with apostrophes there. It's inconsistent, but I've noticed a lot of the time the apostrophe is just... There's a huge amount of space between the apostrophe and the following letter. Ah, your words are amiss. The dangers before were trivial. The true peril lies ahead. It's not something a little kid like you can handle. In the end, it might tarnish your master's reputation. My master is the great sage equal to heaven. He doesn't care about these things. I advise you to go back. Take my advice. If the immortal doesn't make any sense, I won't listen. If you insist on your plan, you will inevitably disturb the heaven and all deities. Is that just a typo? F, a common it's if. It's supposed to be, if a commotion arises, even your master won't escape the consequences. Don't bluff me. I'm not scared. My master is even more fearless. Hey, what kind of disciple has this monkey guy taken? Just a stubborn as him. Looks like this trick won't work. I won't waste my breath then. Bye. Who is this immortal? How dare he refer to my master as a little monkey? Alright, wish me luck, Kiwi. Here we go. Final boss of the run. Don't have high expectations. Okay, my shield did wear off. I either took damage or lost it. Okay, we've got a shop at least, so maybe I can power up before. Oh, senior sister. Come and check this out. Don't miss out on this good chance. It's deserted around here. How could there be traitors? Who are you, senior sister? Didn't expect that, right? I said I would help you. But how did you get here? We'll talk about this later. See if there's anything you need. So, I may be wrong about this, but I believe when they refer to her as senior sister, it's not like calling her older. It's kind of like the equivalent of the Japanese word senpai. It's just a respectful way of referring to even someone who's younger than you, not younger than you, but someone who's young but older than you. All right, we need this recovery for sure. So, okay, that gives us a fighting chance. And then let's go ahead and grab this artifact. Oh, right, I forgot I have to swap them out if I take this. After activation, send a shockwave that knocks back enemies. Or when activated, wooden sword. Alright, I definitely don't want to give up my shield. I feel like that's probably all I'm going to use. In fact, this is probably a mistake to purchase. So I guess, do I want the Tai Chi talisman over the projectiles? I mean, it increases damage reduction, and if these are on cooldown, maybe this is the better choice, because I'm not really going to use the other one. I have 0 energy at this point, but I'll take this. Oh, okay, so I can... Interesting, I can swap them back. If I drop one, I can take it back in case I didn't like what I took. Okay. Well, at least I'm in a better spot than 1 hit away from death. Now I'm like 2 hits away from death, or maybe 3. Wish me luck, Kiwi. Here we go. Alright, what is this boss going to tell us? I got 1 hit on him with Windblade before it started. Tiger monster. Where is this unruly kid from? Go home. Where did this ugly monster come from? How dare you call me ugly? I won't forgive you. So it looks like so far, if I'm making a gross assumption, we are fighting the Chinese Zodiac almost. Okay, so you look melee-esque right now. Sure you... Yep, there it is. I knew you'd have projectiles eventually. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so you have plenty of projectiles. My mistake, sir. Whoa, hello. Alright, we can do this. We can do this. Just focus on generating energy so I can get my shield, and then I should be fine. Oh, good. You can spawn allies. Well, let's get rid of you ASAP. Oh, okay. You can spawn a lot of allies. I guess it's a punishment for taking too long to attack him, perhaps. Well, it's fine. We can deal with these. And a well-timed dodge deals with most of his patterns. Okay, I've got my shield, so let's go ahead and activate that. Oh no, I swapped out my shield. Kiwi, I have messed up. I don't have my shield anymore. Oh well. Okay, so that's the shockwave. So at least that should, in theory, give me damage reduction. So I can use that defensively, at least. This boss doesn't seem terribly difficult so far. I'm sure he'll get more difficult when he gets lower. I just have to focus on taking out his allies when I can, especially the ones that spawn projectiles. The melee ones I can deal with. Whoa! Alright, get some good hits in here. And as long as my projectiles are constantly spamming, as long as I focus on dodging, I will eventually win this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright. Yeah, so we fought the hare, and we fought the tiger, so it definitely... I would assume we're fighting enemies of the Zodiac, but genuinely, the closest thing I have to Chinese folklore that can give me any context for these names is what I've read from Omniscient Reader, which is a manhwa that I've talked with you a couple times about now, that I quite like, to the point where I'm honestly thinking about trying to find a translation of the original novel and just reading it, if that's possible. I don't know if it's available in English, but it would be cool if it was. Oh dear. It doesn't seem like this boss is affected by the freeze effect that my passives have got for me, which is unideal, but is entirely still salvageable. It's not like it's a big deal. Alright, that windstorm ability is really unimpressive. It does like a single hit on this guy. I definitely chose wrong when picking from that shop, and I'll know for next time that it's not worth taking. But I think so far this doesn't feel terribly difficult. Honestly, the hare was scarier. I got hit way more consistently. Because this guy, as long as I dodge when I see him move, I'm fine. I don't know for sure, but it almost looks like I can chain my dodges to the point where I'm entirely invulnerable, which Reminds me of when I played Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I remember there was a secret boss in Birth by Sleep that was so difficult you kind of had to rely on the fact that chaining dodges would give you 100% or roughly 100% invulnerability uptime. All right, here, we've almost got him now. Just a little bit more to go. Let's do a fancy attack. Yeah, there we go. Hey, the Tiger Spirit defeat the Sulu Demon? I couldn't really read that from afar. I'm assuming that's how we get to our next location. So let's start with getting whatever these are. Okay. Crit rate or max HP? I'm gonna go with the attack speed, honestly, because the more I attack, the more swords I spawn. That sounds really fun. It's probably not a huge upgrade, but I'll take it. It doesn't feel like I need the HP as much as I thought. Alright. The Thousand Island Lake. I guess this is the next area. Got a bunch of new NPCs. Hello there. Tieguai Li, maybe? I don't know. Tieguai Li. Let's try Tieguai Li is my best attempt. Shensheng, does my appearance frighten you? Greetings, Master. Master with a resilient body achieved perfection in virtuous deeds and became the true immortal. Master is ranked first among the 8 immortals and radiates immense divine light. How could Shensheng be frightened? I think is what that says. They did not fit that into the screen well. Well, where does this master of yours come from? I regard you, Lady He, as my godmother, so naturally I address you as such. Did she treat you well? Godmother, you treat me like your own, and I, Shensheng, have no way to repay your kindness. It's a pity my legs aren't as nimble. I can only wait here to lend a hand. Master, you're good at joking. Thanks, Master. Upgrade bead. Okay, so this lets me upgrade my different... What were these? Not talismans, artifacts were they called, I think? Sadly, I gave up my shield, so I don't think I'm gonna upgrade these just yet, but I can. Okay, here's a heal. Let's definitely take that. Okay, glad to be... Senior Sister, what brings you here again? You just encountered danger. Of course I should help restore your vitality. I mean, why are you here? Oh, I had a good meal in at the sect just now. Senior Sister, you... Oh, the kid next to you said he wants to help. I'm here. Let me help you. This guy still has something. I guess it means that I can upgrade these if I want to. Alright, if I upgrade this, I assume it just increases the damage. I think I'll skip these for now. And who are you? Exchange interaction rules. Oh, okay. I gave something, I guess. Let's see, Frost Guardian. For each ice elemental blessing owned, damage reduction increases by 1%. For each ice elemental blessing owned, attack speed increases by 2%. Or Fury of the Wind, which for each wind element blessing owned, critical rate increases by 1. I think the attack speed one sounds good. I've got only one frost element, I think. But that's fine. That's fine. I will find more with time. What have you got to say? Oh, Sudhana. Shensheng, Bodhisattva Guanyin sent me to help you. Again, I apologize for the pronunciation. There's no hope here. Oh, young fellow, are you Red Boy? Red Boy has become a thing of the past. Call me Sudhana. Call me whatever. Your mother entrusted me with a message for you. She said, worldly attachments have been severed. I often accompany Guanyin Bodhisattva, observing her words, actions, practicing her art. I travel the world and bring folks fortune without worldly desire. That's your mother, after all. No way. I must carry this message. Endless is suffering, and seeking refuge in the Buddha's teaching is the true essence. You... Okay, I definitely feel like something was lost in translation there. Alright, so it just wants me to upgrade something. I guess I may as well. Red... generates several frost orbs upon activation, dealing freezing and slowing enemies. I guess I'll take this one. Can I upgrade it? No. I don't understand, therefore I cannot do. Alright, on to the next section. Let's see. Technique manual, Destiny plate. Let's find out what this Destiny plate bead is. I'm going to, again, assume it's the shrine with the scroll at the very start of the playthrough that I saw. Alright, so in theory the enemies should be getting more difficult now. And I have no idea what their attacks are like, so... Alright, you have been identified as a caster, which means you need to die ASAP. Alright, shoot projectiles. But yeah, this looks like it'll be a fun game. I wonder if the passives end up synergizing the way they did in Hades, where getting blessings of 2 elements. I guess in this game it would be getting blessings of 2 elements will cause them to fuse together, create an entirely new ability. That was one of my favorite parts about Hades. It was finding all the really cool and powerful synergies. Alright, I guess these orbs will work if I'm in melee range attacking things anyway, but my goodness, this is a way to generate energy. I'm not sold on the artifacts I currently have. None of them seem particularly up my alley for what I would want in a active ability like that that consumes a resource. But, I mean, I'm generating so much energy, I may as well use this to the best effect I can. They really don't seem to... They definitely seem to be very easily staggered here, so... Oh, that one splits in half. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, I was saying, really the only experience I have, or even close to have, with Chinese mythology would be Omniscient Reader, which is a Korean manhwa, so it's primarily Korean mythology, but it does incorporate Chinese mythology as well. Let's see. Upgrade Fate Plate to max level to transform artifact into core artifact. So, I'm going to assume this affects my primary attacks. Technique damage plus 4. There's a 2% chance for basic attacks to restore 1% health on hit. Upon room passage, health is restored by 1. I think I'll take the technique damage. Oh, okay. So it upgrades these things. I think I'm going to find reason to use this, so let's go ahead and take that. I understand now. So the beads go on the artifacts. Gotcha. I'm just a little worried that they're kind of using beads and consumables what is it? They're using artifacts and techniques synonymously, and I may be mistaken. Techniques may just be my Y button attack, but I'm not sure yet. I assume you've noticed that the water in Thousand Island Lake is not to be touched. Seeing the shimmering, I suspect it's under a spell. Like the miasma, it's tainted by evil energy of vicious beasts. With your current level of cultivation, you can only use the fisheye stone to navigate through the miasma. Beast? The beast is right at the center of this lake, so be careful. If you defeat it, you can obtain the key to Kunlun Treasury. I will follow the order, Master. If all goes well, I would have read that last line of text. Unfortunately, it was unreadable. Alright, so I can either get another artifact or a Destiny Plate bead. I wanna learn more about these passive blessings. I'm gonna keep going that route, I think, for now. Let's generate energy as quick as possible. Again, I'm unclear if the energy... Whoops, I dashed instead of using this. I held the wrong trigger is what happened there. I lost my train of thought immediately. Anyway, so, yeah, so... Omniscient Reader definitely dips into kind of mythology from all of the pantheons, which I find really interesting. It's just I don't know a lot of the pantheons outside of the ones that are super popular in American media. So, you know, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology to a lesser extent. It seems like Greek mythology is super popular here for some reason. I assume it's mostly because, or at least in part because it got super popularized by the Marvel movies with Thor. That definitely must have had some role in it, if not it'd be the largest role. It must have had some influence, but Egyptian mythology, Greek mythology, I guess God of War has brought Norse mythology to a degree in here, but even it started with the Greek pantheon, so one could argue that that is also the case for that in that regard. It just went Norse once it went Norse after exalting the Greek pantheon. I don't know for sure. Okay, this definitely feels a little bit brainless if I want to button mash. Let's see. When the enemy is hit by an enemy, apply 2 stacks of wind erosion, which boosts crit damage when attacking them. Increase 1 stack of Godly Run applied by Windblade. Each cost of 4 energy cells generates 7 instances of a Windblade attack. So, tracking on enemies, chance of increasing own movement speed. Okay, I think this is maybe an upgrade to what I already had. And then Gale Might. Crit rate of Gust increased by 12%. When Gust scores a crit hit, it will apply 1 stack of Wind Erosion. I'm gonna go with this one, I think. So I don't fully understand how this one works, but it might I'm sure we'll figure it out. Engraving, technique evolution reward, divine sensibility. Which that seems to be a resource. Let's try engraving again. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see. Pass through one room unscathed. Character's maximum health permanently +2. Oh. If I interpret this correctly, if I take no damage in a room, I get a permanent increase in health by 2. And this is probably early enough in the run where that would be a big deal. Let's see. Upon entering a room, crit hit increases by 5% and disappears after using an artifact skill. Character's energy bar automatically restores at a rate of +5, effective during combat only. That one seems decent, but this one has me interested. It entices me to play well, since I've gone full monkey mode up until most recently. I think I'm good on artifacts, so Destiny Plate Bead or Technique Manual. Let's go Technique Manual. I kind of forgot what these do, so I want to do that. Okay, so those guys self-destruct, it seems, and then leave a AoE. So I've got to be mindful of that. Whoop. Alright, let's go ahead and use this. Ah, shoot, I got hit. Well, no HP gained in this room, but that's fine. That's totally fine. I think having these ice orbs on a melee build are really strong, though, because it makes it so that I can slow down enemies when I'm in proximity, smashing them anyway. So it synergizes well with my build, I think. Okay, yeah, let's regenerate those. And in theory, eventually these guys will get frozen to the point of getting stunned, I think. But yeah, if they can't retaliate effectively because while I'm mashing on them, it definitely makes me feel pretty strong to beat up someone who can't retaliate, I guess, is what I'm unintentionally implying there, maybe? Wow, for a room where I said I'm not going to take any damage, I sure did take a lot of damage, didn't I? Alright, I'm just going to mash and see if I take any damage. Okay, it doesn't seem like I do. It really does seem like as long as I'm maintaining the the hit stun, they don't retaliate, at least so far. I'm sure there will be things with super armor, but that's really good to know. Lasting Blade. Use Celestial Sword Rise passivity. Okay. After killing enemies, permanently increase damage of this skill for the current challenge round. For every one enemy killed, increase damage by 2%. But that's only for the current room. Celestial Sword Rise passive. Change to Sword Rain attack from above. Converts the number of flying swords in the field to equal proportions. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's see. And then Transcendent Sword Mind. Greatly increase the base damage and summoning quantity of basic flying swords. Flying sword damage 30% increase. One more sword generated. Sword summoning limit increased by... Okay, well, there's no question about which one we're taking there. Okay, so it looks like those technique manuals are really good. I don't know if a shop is worth it. Let's go for the artifact and at least see what our options are and see if we can get the shield back, maybe. And again, I have to remember that I'm trying not to take damage. Because if I take damage, well, I mean, that's not something hard to remember at all, honestly. Look at all my swords. They definitely do a lot of damage, don't they? This is already a really fun weapon. I like it a lot. Alright. I assume there would be more up here. Oh, these are the guys that explode, so I gotta be careful. It looks like they explode after getting hit once, so that's pretty easy to deal with. I see fireballs. I'm gonna kite them this way. Oh wow, that just I thought that whirlpool would eventually run out, but it just, or that whirlwind, that water, I guess it was someone threw a whirlpool at me, and I kind of assumed that it would eventually expire with how much distance it had to travel just to get there. I was mistaken, sadly. This guy's gonna have a bad time, and his little spawnlings won't do much better. Look at all those swords. This is kind of fun, honestly. Tower of Holiness. Use the pagoda to initiate a shockwave strike towards the nearest enemy. For every enemy killed with this artifact, permanently increases character artifact damage by 0.1%. But it gives up the Profound Frost Orb for it. I'm not doing that. I wonder if there's a way to change what it switches, but I don't think it does. Oh, here's the block attack. Okay, I want that. Can I not? I have 4 slots, it seems. Well, no matter. I want the shield. I'll use the shield a lot more. Especially with how monkey mode I am right now. Let's see what's in our next portal. Oh, must be a mid-boss. Wish me luck. Benbow and Babo. Okay. So there are two of them. You look like a caster, but oh, whoa. Oh, you both do that, don't you? Okay. I see. My swords seem to be tearing them apart already, though. Get some good damage here while I can. Luckily, dodged that attack. Whoop! Whoa! Oh, I did not see him coming. Okay. I need to get my shield, enough energy to use my shield ASAP. Almost there. Alright, got my shield. Now I can be a little bit more careful. Or careless, rather. Alright, well, I took my hit, and I got my shield back. Because I did enough damage. So many flying swords, Kiwi. This is a really fun ability. Oh, I lost my shield. Oh no. I'm probably close to death here. The projectiles don't seem to do as much damage as the melee attacks in this game, which, you know what? Fair, especially if you can't see them coming. Got a shield. Oh, we beat him. We beat him, yeah. And we're pretty close to death again, but hey, not bad at all. I'm gonna take the HP since I'm low again. I feel like my damage is good enough. And then we get an artifact, potentially. Divine Wood Sword. It looks like I have pretty much a set-in-stone set of options. When activated, the wooden sword will automatically fly out and perform multiple strikes, and reduces the CD, the cooldown of technique skills. Honestly, I'm gonna try this. It sounds fun. Another engraving. I'm still having trouble keeping track of what's what. I forget what the engravings were again. But I'm gonna go for the challenge. I'm gonna go for the divine bead. I thought pretty hard about taking the engraving, but let's do this. Thankfully, my flying swords just destroy the guys who explode on one hit pretty immediately. All right, let's see what this new ability does. Did I use it? I did. Oh, it's just floating around me now, or maybe I'm mistaken about what this is. I'll have to try it again. Alright, so you guys are gonna come from up here, aren't you? Alright. Alright, so it looks like it only does one hit, which is kind of lame. But that's fine. Okay, I'm not a fan of that one, unless I'm misunderstanding what it does. There's always the possibility that these weaker artifacts become really strong later on in the game. But there's no way of knowing until I get to that point. I like that I can just spam my shield at this point. In these rooms where all the mobs kind of spawn together, it's pretty cheeky. In battle, revive one time only once, restoring 30% health. I mean, is there any question what we're gonna take? Now, the only question I have is, are these truly passives, or do I have to have the technique active for them to work? That is unclear to me at this point. I can draw Destiny Plate or a Fire Blessing. I'm going for the Fire Blessing, honestly. I don't know how things synergize. I don't know if this is actually a mistake. But until I do for sure, I'm going for it. Alright, so far so good. But anyway, I think I've gone on a tangent about Omniscient Reader a couple times, but I should at least mention, if you're looking for a good, it's definitely a power fantasy. It has fantastic art for starters. That's definitely one of its biggest draws, I have to say. Its art is phenomenal. I believe in part, if you're familiar with Solo Leveling's manhwa, the reason for that is, in part, it's I believe it's done by the same, if not I don't know if studio is the right word, but there are definitely some art. I think it's the same studio, but there is some overlap between the artists, is what I'm trying to say, and they both look fantastic. So just it's a visual treat to read, but then there are also some like genuinely meaningful and interesting character moments. The characters are fun. The humor gets me a lot, so I enjoy it a lot. Let's see. When the character is hit by an enemy, counterattack with 2 instances of blazing, which is an AoE fire explosion. Upon entering a room, generate 2 fire spirits, which each deals 30 damage. Summon fire spirits that swiftly rush towards enemies for melee attacks. Crit hit definitely apply 2 stacks of flame. A cumulative effect applies vulnerability to enemies, triggering an explosion after reaching 5 stacks. That'll kill things that clump together pretty well. I don't know how the damage compares. This will help me deal with bosses. They both will. I'll go with this one, I guess, since it's rare. I'll get the, I'll take it. Alright, let's see. But, Omniscient Reader, there are moments where it feels like it has a lot of heart, I guess. And it's very interesting. Basically, the premise of this story is that the main character has read a story called, I believe, How to Survive the Apocalypse. And he's pretty much it was like a 3,000 chapter, oh, I died. It was a 3,000 chapter long novel, so he was the only one who actually ended up reading the thing in its entirety. And in doing so, he, upon completion, upon its publishing of the final chapter and him reading it, the apocalypse actually begins, and it seems to be almost entirely recreating the story as he knows it from what he read. And basically, using his knowledge, he is going to try and interact with the main character of this story and a bunch of other characters that he comes across in the way, who to effectively beat the apocalypse. When this artifact hits, 10% chance to generate 1 instance of Fire Spirit. When this artifact is cast... Oh, this is a Destiny plate. Okay. When this artifact is cast, there's a 75% chance to generate 2 instances of Ice, which perform range attacks on nearby enemies with a slow effect. Ice Pearl. Generate a spirit surrounding the character, causing slow and damage to enemies. Okay. I think I'll go with this one. And we're just going to feed this one since it seems like the one I'm using the most, I guess. I don't fully understand... Oh, perfect. Let's go with the technique manual. If I recall, this gave me some really powerful upgrades. Anyway, so I have to be mindful I no longer have my resurrection, and I'm pretty close to death. So the intrigue of Omniscient Reader comes not only from the knowledge that the main character has, because he's not a strong character initially, but it's him knowing the characters, and as the story progresses, he ends up gaining powers. He gains access to the powers of those characters that he's familiar with, depending on how familiar he is with them. And it definitely has a degree of that like power fantasy that it harkens to of that manga genre, but it's so much more than just a power fantasy. That's absolutely there, but there is a lot of struggle. There is loss. There are characters who suffer, and the character moments, the character growth that comes from those instances makes it very, very fun to read. Let's see. Blood Cleansed. After the character takes damage, flying swords will be generated to attack enemies. No. Celestial Sword Rise. Passive. Hitting enemies will gain temporary HP. Disappears after the battle. Increase a certain amount of HP for each hit on enemy. Drastically reduce damage from enemy bullet attacks. That sounds useful, but honestly, even if it's temporary HP, that'll give me a chance to survive if I'm interpreting that correctly. Now, I think I'll take the Blessing. It gives me the best chance of accruing direct damage upgrades. Right, again, I need to... These guys are casters. I should probably focus on taking them down because they're the bigger threat. It's so cool just to see all my swords flying. Oh, you're all casters, apparently. You're all shooting fireballs. I'm going to just go ahead and reposition and try again. Just need a little bit more energy, and then I'll be able to use my shield. There we go. Okay, now I feel safe. The issue with the shield is it blocks 1 instance of damage. Doesn't matter if that damage would do a ton of damage or very little damage at all. So I have to be careful about that. Taking a minor hit, or avoiding a minor hit that doesn't really equate to anything is a problem, I suppose. Oh, there you guys are. I'm like, where are the enemies? They haven't spawned yet. Let's go ahead and use this since I'm pretty well stocked on energy. Looks like I can stay. Oh, I was... Okay, I didn't realize I was standing on that. Oops. Just block my damage. I'm maintaining my HP well enough. Could be better. Definitely could be better, but I think I'm doing okay. But combat feels pretty... Like, if I remember how to play Hades, I know how to play this game pretty much. Let's see. Accumulate energy every one grid. The character has 50% chance to apply Gale to themselves, which significantly increases attack speed for a certain duration. Okay, that sounds like fun. Gust. Deal AoE damage to enemies in a straight line in front of the character and apply a mark to increase the player's crit rate. Cumulative effect. Okay. Still not a fan of that one. When enemy's HP is full, apply 1 stack of wind erosion. Okay. So it gives me an increased 20% crit chance against them, roughly. I honestly feel like this one sounds the most fun, so I'm going to take that, even if it's not a higher grade. Alright, so these... I have confirmed that these little pots around the stage do give HP orbs every now and again. Not a whole lot, though. But it's good to know. Alright. Okay, oh no, we're up to the boss. So, definitely want the recovery again. And then a technique manual for sure. I've learned my lesson. I don't need another artifact. Sister, why are you always around? Because I'm awesome. Is there a discount for that? No. Cute. Alright, let's buy this. Let's see. Create more triggered flying swords. The more flying swords on the field, the more damage the character's normal attacks deal. Increase damage of each set of 8 flying swords by 20%. And after I take damage. So it's got to be one of these. So basically anything that would trigger a flying sword now triggers one more flying sword. Or I just get a flat damage increase. I think I'm going to go for this one. That sounds really good. Alright. What is this? Seal Shrine. Oh, another engraving. Awesome. Upon entering the room, martial arts damage increased by 10%. Disappears after taking damage. Upon entering a room, wind elemental damage increases by 8%. Disappears after damage. Energy bar. We're taking the energy bar. Okay, yeah. Anything that lets me passively regenerate shield when I'm trying to dodge things sounds great. It probably won't equate to a lot, but if it equates to anything, that's more than I had. What does this monster eat to grow so big? I wonder if it can understand me. Hey, big guy. It's a Hydra. Cool. If it won't speak, then I'll take action. Alright, wish me luck, Kiwi. We're fighting a Hydra. Oh, you spawn tentacles. Okay. Whoa, whoa, dear. Whoa, whoa. Okay, you're actually a boss. You're a real boss. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Whoa. Oh, this is really cool, Kiwi. It's terrifying. What? How do I dodge? How do I dodge? I don't... Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I dodge that or if I just spam dodge enough to dodge that. Ouch. Okay, I've got my shield. Whoop. I lost my shield immediately. I'm going to take my orbs because I use them pretty well for damage here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, this is way harder than the first boss. Oh, okay, I just have to go there to dodge it. Gotcha, gotcha. I have taken a lot of damage already. Oh, dearie me. Ouch. Got my shield back. Okay. Get out of there. Oh, he's a tanky boy. Oh my goodness, I'm so dead. Oh my goodness, Kiwi, this is way harder. I'm out of energy. Oh no. I don't have a shield. Alright, here we go. Got my shield back. Just mash, mash, mash. These tentacles. You know, I bet you'd really like this dragon. Multiple tentacles. It's a tentacle dragon. What else could you ask for? Honestly, its design looks really cool. Alright. I just have to remember to spam dodge as much as possible. And use my shield when I have... shoot. Okay. Oh. I accidentally... I used the wrong attack and didn't get... Oh, I still have my shield. Good. Okay, I can do this. Just gotta dodge the orbs. Alright, he's about half dead. Now I can do this. I can do this. This is probably the attack that I have the hardest time dodging, but I got hit by it, but I... Thankfully, I'm really glad I have this shield passive. It makes a huge difference. Alright. Just beat the tentacles. Can I beat this dragon? That is the question. Oh, I got hit. I got hit again. Ah. It's a good thing I can just... I'm generating a lot of energy, and as long as I spam this shield, I think I have a pretty fair chance of beating it. Alright, I think I have enough energy that I'm going to use my ice orbs and use that for extra damage. Tentacles have a lot of range on them. Wow. My projectile sword seems to do a good job of taking those tentacles out for me. Oh, I got hit. No! No, I forgot to use my shield! Darn. Oh well. Shen Shang, do you think you alone can challenge the heavenly laws? It's like an ant shaking a tree. Utterly futile. Ah, darn. I have no idea what he just said. But, okay. That was my first ever blind attempt at Lotus Lantern Rescue Mother. That was a lot of fun. I really like that. I really like the sword projectile build. That's very different from Hades. Like, the core gameplay feels very reminiscent, but there are a lot of notable differences. And there's definitely some issues with localization, translation, typesetting, that sort of stuff. I would have liked to be able to know what the characters say when they're talking without subtitles. But so far as first impressions go, that felt really fun to play. The boss was an adequate level of challenging. The trash mobs are probably reminiscent of Hades before the heat increases, making it more difficult, but I definitely found that I was stun locking them pretty reliably, which definitely lowered a degree of difficulty, but I don't know. I think this is a fun game. I'll definitely play another round of it sometime soon. But with all that said, so like I said, this is going to be a little different. This is just going to be a one-off for now. Maybe I'll upload another episode next weekend, but I hope you have enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, Kiwi, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Kiwi. Alright, so here's the section I promised at the end of the video where I just read out the dialogue from that cutscene. Enjoy my terrible pronunciation. Long time ago, the Jade Emperor's sister, Lady Yao, fell in love with a mortal and secretly maintained the relationship. The Heavenly Court captured them, enraging the Jade Emperor, who issued a stern decree punishing immortals engaging in relationships with mortals. Lady Yao gave birth to a pair of children, the elder, a boy named Yan Jian, who is honored as the true Lord Erlong. The younger, a girl named Yang Chen, is revered as Hua Yu Xianyang, who I've learned is also called San Shen Mu. Hua Yu Xianyang has long resided in Mount Hua, blessing the mortal realm. He met Liu Yancheng, a herb-gathering man, and over time affection blossomed between them. After their marriage, they bore a son and named him Liu Chenjiang. Oh, Leo, okay. After Erlong Shen found out about it, he was furious. He led the Howling Dog to capture Hua Yu Xianyang and detain her under Mount Hua. In the nick of time, Thunderbolt Immortal saved the swaddled Chen Shang and handed him over to Lady He for care. Or Lady He? I'm not sure. Henceforth, the grand and beautiful Mount Hua, bereft of Hua Yu Xianyang's blessings, turned into a sinister land enveloped in lingering fog. After twists and turns, Chen Zhang, raised by Lady He, became a disciple under Sun Wukong, the victorious fighting Buddha. Along the way, he discovered his true identity. And there you go. I don't know, I don't have a lot of experience with Chinese mythology, so regardless, I hope you've enjoyed.